All right, this is what we are doing on Friday, November 22nd. Go ahead and do bell ringer number 5 in your warm-up packet, and then get on the Google Classroom site. You should have the code if you haven't already joined. Get on Google Classroom and the quiz will be there. It is open note. You may use all of your notes. You may use a calculator on the quiz. And then come back and get your notes for 1.3. So assuming that you've done your warm-up and your notes at this point, here is our warm-up. So if x minus 1 divided by 3 equals k, and k is 3, what's x? Well, if x minus 1 over 3 equals k and k is 3, then what we actually have here, so we can just replace k with a 3. And then we multiply both sides by 3 to get rid of that divided by 3. So that would give us x minus 1 equals 3 times 3 is 9. We add 1 to both sides, and we find out that if k is 3, x will be 10. K is 3, x will be 10, and that's our answer to our warm-up. Okay, so in your notes packet, find 1.3, locating points and midpoints. You're going to see this number line at the top, and we'll jump right in. Let's find the distances between B and D and D and G. So your first instinct with a number line might just be count, because that's pretty fast. B is right here. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's D. But we could also see that B is at -7 and D is at -1. And if we subtract -7 from -1, that would actually be -1 plus a +7, which would give us 6, and that's our answer. Same thing with D and G. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9. See, I'm bad at counting. All right. So we could count 9, or we could do 8 minus -1. G is at 8, D is still at -1, which becomes +1. And that gives us a distance of 9. So what we can kind of see here is that we can count, but a little bit faster way to count is to take the bigger number, subtract the smaller number, and that would give us the distance. Distance almost always must be a positive value, so if you get a negative value for distance, you want to go back and check your arithmetic. So we are talking about midpoints today. A midpoint is the halfway point on a line, or line segment. Oh, more appropriately line segment, because a line doesn't have a length, so it can't really have a halfway point. We're going to talk about using distance to find the midpoint. On a number line, all we have to do is take one point and the other point, add them together, and divide by 2. Take the distance, divide by 2 to find our midpoint. So we're going to use that formula, point plus point over 2, to find our midpoint on the number line. So we're looking at C and E. Try that on your own. So here are some potential answers. And the correct answer is going to be -1. What we did was, if you used the formula correctly, then you should have taken -4 and added 2 and then divided by 2. -4 plus +2 is going to be -2 divided by 2 is -1. And we can see that that is about halfway between C and E, right about there. So just to go over that one more time with DG, D is at 0, G is at 8. We add them together and divide by 2. It gives us 8 divided by 2, and our distance is, or not our distance, but our midpoint between D and G is 4. Our midpoint between D and G is 4. So if we're dealing with coordinates, like we did with distance, we're going to take our 2 points, our 2 x's and our 2 y's, and we're going to add our x's together to divide by 2 and our y's together to divide by 2. And that's going to give us our midpoint on the line from this point to this one. So let's try that out. And this is the thing that should go in that big box that says midpoint on a coordinate plane. You're going to put this in there. You want to write that down right now. Pause the video, get this down. Right in that box in the middle of your page. Okay, so first we're going to look at this line and we want to figure out what are the points. Well, this one over here is negative 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to 7. So that's negative 4, 7. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8, negative 4. So to find our midpoint, we're going to use that formula. X's together divided by 2, Y's together divided by 2. So it's going to be negative 4 plus 8 over 2, 7 plus negative 4 over 2. It's going to give us 4 over 2, 3 over 2. So our midpoint is going to be 2, 1.5, 1, 2, and then 1.5. We can kind of see that would be that point right there. That looks about right, about halfway between A and B. Okay, so that's our first page of notes. The second page is going to be on the second video.